Obviously, you've split up from Andrew.
Yeah.
And how are you finding that?
It was hard at first. No one really ever is going to know what really happened, behind closed doors. And so I was the only deaf student in my school.
Right.
So I felt very isolated. I got cyberbullied quite a bit as well. But,
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I always knew that it's not forever and it's not going to be my life.
Watching a sad movie knowing you'll cry.
I do that every night.
God, are you okay?
Yeah.
Someone's in the breakup era. Would you ever consider going on All Stars? Guys, my guest today is dancer, model, Love Island alumni. It's Tasha Ghouri.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on. Honestly, I've wanted to get you on for quite a long time, and I feel there's so much to cover. You've had such a big couple of years.
Yeah, it's been a bit wild, I've got to say.
It's been wild.
Yeah.
I'm just looking back here. You was on 2022 Love Island, which was series
8.
8.
I like to say it's 8.
Yeah. I mean, that must feel like a long time ago. And it's really not, actually, in the grand scheme of life.
Because I feel like there's been so many after. And that's why it feels so much.
So that's so true.
Yeah, and I'm like, actually, it's only been 3 years this year.
Yeah.
But even when I look back, I'm like, it's like what actually happened.
I know.
It's a weird thing. I don't know if it's the same for you, but when I look back, I'm like, I don't even remember everything that actually happened in there.
Do you have good memories of the show? Did you enjoy being on the show?
50-50. But I've always been honest about it. It was a 50-50 experience for me. I think because it's hard when you're in there. It's not like you're sunbathing around, lounging around. Like, I'm very close to my family and friends. That was the only thing where I was like, I really needed to talk to them when you couldn't.
You're very cut off, and it feels, you feel quite isolated.
Yeah.
Because the people become your friends, but at the end of the day, you've known these people like a couple of days.
Yeah, like you share one day and you're sleeping in bed with them.
Yeah.
Like, this is not normal.
I'm not going to talk about the split too much in the pod. We'll touch on it later on. But do you feel like, because obviously now you and Andrew have parted ways, it's a bit different now to look back on it?
Do you know what? I look back and I still see it as a positive experience because Andrew was a big part of my life for 2.5 years. So,
of course.
I'm not going to look back and be like, oh, I hate it. If anything, I'm still grateful for it. Because he taught me so much. I taught him a lot. So actually, it was a really nice thing we both had.
Yeah.
In a way.
Are you friends with anyone from your series? Do you keep in touch with anyone?
No, not really, no.
That's fine.
Yeah, actually
That's like fair enough.
Yeah, but I support Instagram, but actually being in touch or making plans, no.
No. Your series, Ekin-Su and Davide won.
Yes.
Did you watch her on All Stars?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it because I was doing tours. I didn't really have the time to
That was the Strictly tour.
Really watch it. Yeah. But I saw it on TikToks and stuff. But
what do you think about her and Curtis?
I actually like it.
Do you?
Yeah. And do what the fire pit of Curtis's knee slide. I think that was actually iconic. And all the girls were like, ah!
I mean, whatever anyone thinks of them, they're great entertainment in that show. I mean, you've done so much since you left, modelling, campaigns, stuff for charity, and obviously Strictly. Is there anything that stands out in your minds that has been the most special for you?
Definitely Strictly.
Massive, innit?
That was like my dream show to do. Like, out of anything else, Strictly was the one where I was like, knocking the door like, please give me a chance. And then when the opportunity came, I was just, right timing, it felt right to do it.
Yeah.
And it was a great cast to be part of as well. I was very lucky. There was great people.
Yeah.
Especially like Pete, Jamie and everyone.
I was just apart from Pete. No, joking.
And I beat him in the semi-finals.
Yeah, I know. Did you ever think you'd be all the way to the final like that?
No. You know what? I took it week by week. I think it was kind of, you don't know what's going to happen. It's a bit like Love Island, you really don't know. And I think every day I just went, I'm just going to take it in and really enjoy it because I don't look back and be like, oh, I wish I enjoyed it more.
Yeah, because it's really tough. And I was obviously speaking to Pete a lot and the schedule, and it goes on forever. I was speaking to him and a month later, I'm like, is that show still going? He's like, yeah. It's a huge commitment.
Yeah, it's 13 weeks. I had no social life at all, only Sunday off. And then on a Sunday, I just wanted to kind of chill or just do my own thing. But literally, and then a tour as well. So in total, it's 6 months.
Of course, because you went on to the tour.
Yeah.
The dancing side of it, you had some dance background, and people always catch a bit of flack when they have any remote kind of dance background. How did you feel about that? And was it something that bothered you? Did you feel like it was unfair? I personally think it's unfair, but
Yeah, I think for me, it was just, I was honest from the start.
Yeah.
Like I said in my interview, I've had dance experience.
Yeah.
You know, I said it in many press interviews. And I think it's just one of those situations where it was the BBC that asked me to do it.
Yeah.
You know, of course I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to turn down strictly, you know. And I just kind of blocked that noise. And I said, you know what, I'm here to enjoy my own time, my own experience. Like I'm the one that's doing this, not you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I thought of it, and stay positive, you know.
Because also I feel like people are so ignorant. It's like, yes, you danced in the past, but you know, you hadn't danced at that level for a long time. And then you've got to learn these routines week in, week out, new routine in front of a live audience. Like, it's not as simple as like, okay, yeah, you danced before. It, you know, sure, it might give you some, you know, help, but it's I wouldn't say it's what people make it out to be.
100%. Like I'd never learned ballroom or Latin or even dance with a guy, like with a man, like a partner.
Yeah, that's so true.
Like I've never done that before. So that was all new to me. And if anything, I remember Alyash actually said to me, it's hard to teach me because I was having habits before from my street dance, commercial world. And I had to like literally strip all that down and then relearn a whole new ballroom frame and things like that. So it wasn't something I'm used to, but honestly, I loved it. So
you were so incredible. I was there one night when you did.
Oh yes, I remember.
Is that Henry VIII? What's the name?
Sixth the Musical.
Sixth the Musical.
Yeah,
you
that
did
was it.
And
like badass.
Oh my God! Like it was breathtaking. Honestly, like your body and like the way you moved. And I think that night your cochlear came out.
Yeah.
Towards the end, so you probably couldn't even. Well, I don't know. What do you experience when it comes out? What could you hear at that point? Not
nothing,
a lot.
No, it just goes from like sound to nothing.
What goes through your head in that moment when you like you're like, relying on that beat, like
yeah, like in my head.
You never would know.
Yeah, in my head I was literally like, shit, like just keep going, don't stop. And I think obviously it's live, so I can't stop and be like,
where is it? Like,
can we restart? You know. But luckily the magnet just went back in halfway through. Like it just,
so it moved and you lost the sound, and then it
came back in. Yeah, so I got so lucky because it could have stayed out for the rest of it. And I just remember Alyash's eyes literally went.
Well, do you think he knew?
Yeah, he saw it come off. Yeah, he saw it and he started counting.
Oh.
So he was like straight in on it. So it was really good to have that trust of like, you know, something like that was to happen.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, you know, took control of that.
What was your relationship with him like? Did you get on really well from the beginning? Because I think that's the thing that scares me the most about Strictly.
What do you mean?
Because imagine
like
you have a partner you hate.
Like,
do you know what I mean? Because that's just, it's a bit, you're spending a lot of time with this person. Like, if they're not nice or you don't click.
That'd be harder. Yeah. But luckily, I had a great time. Like, he's a very positive person. He came in, like, great attitude. I didn't feel, like, on edge at any point. Like, he was really supportive all the way through. So I look back, I'm like, I had a really good time. Like, a great friendship, yeah.
Oh, good. What was the tour like?
Oh my God, it was so fun. Like, it was literally like...
How did it compare to live shows? Was it a bit... Well, it's a live show, but it's not on telly, but is it more fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I felt like everyone just kind of was like lost puppies just running around because everyone was just so excited. It's kind of like everyone just let loose.
Because the pressure's off. You're not in competition with each other. You're just enjoying the skill that you've learned.
You do the same dances every night. You're performing in an arena. And it was so much more chilled. And I loved it. I was more nervous doing the show than actually doing it in an arena.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
But then I think it's like you say, it's that competition element that is probably like, really, are you going to go this week? Is this going to be the end of it? Whereas with the tour, you probably get to enjoy it. Like, you know that you're there and you're going to see it through.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Well, how do you feel about dancing now? Is it something that you want to continue to do and bring it back into your life?
I would love to. It's just timings, you know. I've got so much going on. It's finding the time to even get back to class, get into training again. But hopefully, maybe at the end of the year next year, I might do my own little dance show thing, maybe.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, maybe. Because I love it. It brings me happiness and joy.
And you've got a connection to it.
Yeah, massively.
Talking about you being busy, I've got in front of me on the table here your new book, Your Superpower, which is out now. Tell me a little bit. I mean, I obviously know what it's about, but tell my listeners what the book's about.
So Your Superpower is kind of like a memoir. It's not like an autobiography. I feel like I'm too young still to do an autobiography. But it's more like about how to who you are as a person with a disability, like how to navigate through obstacles. You know, different chapters represent different things. So like respect, love. It represents, you know, how to get through school life. You know, it's hard. So you're trying to figure out who you are as a person. And career setbacks, like how to get through those kind of setbacks. And what's so lovely, in the book, I have like my superheroes. So I've got other celebrities, well-known names, share their disabilities and how they also overcame their life situations.
And you interviewed them for the book.
Yeah.
That's
and it's
really
also got my parents in there as well, to talk about from a parent's perspective. Because I get a lot of questions from mums and dads saying, how do I deal with this situation? But it's hard from my side because I don't really know. So that's why I said, Mum and Dad, let's get you in here so you have your say of how you dealt with certain scenarios. So altogether, it's a really, really, really good book. And I feel like any readers can take something from it. You know, if you're lacking confidence, if you're struggling to get through school, if you want advice on how to get through a certain career path, you know, there's something for everyone in there. So it's really just about owning yourself.
Was there any interviews that really stood out for you that were like really special?
Bradley Richards, he's from Heartstoppers, and such a lovely person. And in the book, he says a really, really nice piece in there, and he really touched my heart. And he's such a great person as well. Like,
and what's his story for people that don't know?
So he has ADHD.
Okay.
And he's a really good advocate for that. And he's just very open about it on the socials. And, you know, he just really talks about how in a life scenario, how he deals with it day in, day out kind of thing, and how to stay positive through that. I think that's a really, really strong message to have. Like, he's got a great platform. So Bradley Richards, for me. But I also got my best friend Ty in there. So Ty is non-binary and literally has been my best friend for years. And Ty is just an absolute pioneer of how to embrace who you are, even though you don't have to be male or female, non-binary, LGBTQ community, you know, they are just incredible. So I've got great people in there altogether.
With your hearing, that was from birth, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And what was that like at school? Was it tough?
Yeah, it was tough. I think because I was the only deaf student in my school.
Right.
So I felt very isolated. I was the only one that used British Sign Language at the time. So I actually had to force my speech to get better because no one else used it around me. And I was like, I'm obviously not going to have any friends if I can't communicate through speech. So I was having speech therapy. And so, yeah, school was tough. I got cyberbullied quite a bit as well. But, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think I was quite headstrong in terms of school's not forever. You know, I'm never going to see all of these people ever again, really.
No, I
actually don't have any friends from school anymore.
Neither.
So,
actually, that's a lie. Oh my God, I have one, my best friend from like primary school who I'm still friends with. But yeah,
that's what I mean. So I always knew that it's not forever and it's not going to be my life, you know. So that's kind of what really helped me get through it.
Do you feel like, you know, visibility for people that have, for example, like a hearing problem is so important, and like having representation on shows like Love Island is massive. And did you feel a lot of responsibility with that platform?
I think a little bit, especially with Love Island. I feel like it was kind of the first, for them especially as well, it was kind of the first Island with a disability really on that show. And I kind of just went in, I just wanted to show people you can find love with confidence. You can be, you know, who you want to be. You can flirt even though you've got a disability. You know, that's what I really wanted to show. And representation is so important. You know, you have Rose, who also was on Strictly.
Of course.
And I think she was the first person that really opened the doors for all of us. But, you know, there's so many kids now, especially with social media. It's hard for them to even find their confidence nowadays, especially with all that pressure of having to look a certain way or, you know, not having that voice to support them. But also social media is a positive thing because you've got voices like, you know, like me or just like you, like all these amazing people that share such positive things that help people navigate through certain things in life.
And I think what's so cool about you and like girls like Rose is that you're showing like you can have this thing, but it's not who you are. Like it's just a part of your existence, but doesn't define you. Like you don't have to be in this box of like, okay, well I can't do X, Y, Z because I have this disability. It's like, well actually no, like there are no rules. Like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is really like special. And I think that's the power of having representation in those spaces. Is that some little girl or boy is going to watch that and be like, oh, okay, so I can go on a dating show and I can be the face of this campaign. It's not, you know, it's not closed off to me.
Yeah, it's about not holding you back. If anything, it's about, you know, just embracing it and really enjoying the beauty of it. when I was younger, I used to wear my hair down, wouldn't even show it. But now I'm like, you know what? I love it. It's a part of me that's unique and special. And there's nothing bad about it. It's just something that's so special about you.
Yeah, I love the fact that you show like your cochlear. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah, cochlear.
Yeah, you show it, and then you had it like bedazzled when you were on Strictly. And it's like, and like even that you say, like, rather than it being like flesh coloured and hidden as if it's like something that you should be hiding from people, it's like in being proud of it. Like, and that I think as well for for young people, that must be huge. Like, if you've got to wear an implant and you're feeling ashamed, then you see this like really cool girl on telly and she's got it covered in diamonds and whatever, it's going to change the way that child feels about their implant.
Yeah, and I had people sending me videos of, like, decorating theirs, and that made me go like, wow, like that's just so amazing.
That's really nice. So I talk about confidence. Should we touch just briefly? Obviously, you've split up from Andrew in recent-ish weeks. I actually saw a post, like, he has explained that you're taking the dog fully, and he's moving to Dubai, and the dog's actually here, guys. She's here. I was like, oh my God, she's in the other room. I was like, she made my whole day. She's so lovely. Let's just talk about that quickly first, actually, because I love that you guys rescued, because I also rescued a street dog, and your dog Luna's from Spain.
Yeah,
and she's so lovely. How did you come to rescue Luna? What was the story behind that?
So I had a rescue when I was a child. So my childhood dog.
You grew up with rescue dogs?
Yeah. So she was a boxer Great Dane Cross, and she went through absolute hell. So I always said to Andrew, I definitely would always want to rescue. And then the rescue lives near my dad in Spain. And that's kind of how we always knew of Fedora Dog Rescue. And then I saw Luna, and I just thought,
I have to have her.
Like,
That's how I was with Lola. There was no reason or rhyme.
Just connected. I was like, yeah. But she was actually taken already. She was reserved.
Oh, shit. Did they drop out?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, it's meant to be. Exactly. I was like, they called me the next day. I was like, oh, by the way, they dropped out. Like, she's available. I was like, right, okay, like, let's get the paperwork going. And then, she came to the UK.
She's so beautiful. Lola was my first rescue, and she was from Romania. And I just was, like, sort of researching dog rescue. We also grew up with a lot of rescues. And I somehow came across the situation in Romania. And then I was speaking with the woman that runs the rescue, and she was like, they kind of asked you what you're looking for. And because how big is Luna? She's probably like, what, like...
But how big is she? Like small, medium?
Like a small, like sort of like 10, 15 kilograms maybe? Or like...
Oh, no, she's like 18 kilograms.
18?
Yeah.
So, like, they always ask, like, they go about weights, don't they? And I remember that would, like, the size she is the kind of dog that because a lot of dogs in Romania are that size.
Yeah.
And then she sent this photo through of this one dog from this litter that hadn't been reserved. It was Lola. And I don't know, there was something in her eyes. I was just like, that's my dog.
Yeah.
And she was huge. This puppy was like a monster. And now we have Lola, who's like literally like 40 kg. She's massive. And it was like, we never planned to have such a big dog. But like, there was something about that photo where I was just like, Brad was like, you're mental. Like, that dog's going to be ginormous. I was like, I don't care.
You just
like,
felt
I don't
it
care.
in you. Yeah,
I was like,
feel it.
Like, I just feel it. I was like, and she's the only one not reserved. And they were all traveling on the bus, and she's going to be left behind. So yeah, no, I love the fact that you rescued. But sorry, I kind of sidestepped there. So you're full custody.
Yes.
Now.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
No,
I think it's hard because
really
we both love her.
Yeah.
And I think for Andrew, he kind of loves Dubai. He used to live there before, and he kind of said, I do want to go back. And then it was kind of the situation of, it's hard because we both want her and we both love her and want what's best for her. So it kind of came down to the decision that I would have her in the UK.
And he's going to go and live in Dubai?
Yeah.
I also think as well, like, when you don't have kids and you're not married and you're going to split up, sharing a pet, I just feel like it's low-key traumatic. Because how do you move on?
I know.
When you've then got to see this person to give the dog or the cat or whatever it is back and forth, it just feels like it's going to prevent you from actually being able to, like, really, enjoy your singleness and moving on with your life.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You spoke on those social media because you're living now on your own for the first time.
Yeah.
And how are you finding that?
I'm actually quite enjoying it. At first, I thought this is really strange. Like, you're so used to being with somebody, and then it was kind of actually, I saw it as a new beginning.
Yes.
Okay, I can make this house my own, I can make it home. And eventually I started doing little things like having baths. It sounds so lame, but it actually really helped.
Yeah.
And like just going for long dog walks, even with Luna, and just enjoying my own space.
Yeah.
It does take time, but the first few weeks a bit of a struggle. But if anything now, I have so much time to like see my friends now. Like I'm closer to London, like I miss being around them. And even just going out a bit more, you know, it's really nice actually. I'm quite enjoying it at the moment.
I moved out when I was 18 with a boyfriend and we lived alone, and then we split up a few years later, and I made the decision to take on the apartment and he left. And I really wanted that. I was like, I want the apartment. And in those first few weeks, I like fell to pieces. I was like, what have I done? Like you kind of just feel like you don't know what to do with yourself. Like you say, like having a bath, or like you kind of feel like you're walking around like, what do I do? Like it's so weird.
Yeah.
But then I promise you become addicted to it. Like it just becomes the best thing.
Yeah.
And then when you do, you know, whatever you do, you know, whether you live with a friend next or you date and someone moves in, then it's really hard because you get so used to having your own space.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like even
it's
like
lovely.
where I put things.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can imagine that even my friends came around the other week. I love them. I love you all. But like, little things like with certain glass goes somewhere and I'm like, oh no, like, you know, you get protective over your space now.
100%. And also, you know, the real tragedy of being like, you know, straight is that you have to live with a man eventually. And that fucking sucks. Like, let's not sugarcoat this. Like, we're not meant to live together. Like,
No.
I love my husband, but it's like, there's no reason that we were meant to habitize or whatever. Cohabit.
Yeah, that's right.
Like he's messy, he's dirty. Like I was like, oh, like yeah, it was not like I would be very happy on my own. I could do like a Dolly Parton, you know, like we live in separate houses, but I mean Brad wouldn't have it. But
you should need to get like a little outside building.
Yeah, like he can have like a granny flat on the garage. He'd probably quite like that. So breakups are really hard, and then you're navigating that. How are you finding sort of your only early days in single life? But how does it feel? Because it's a long time to be together, and you come off that show, which, as I know, because I've been there, that's a whole different. Fast forwards everything, and now you're like experiencing life for the first time post Love Island, and you're single.
Yeah, I think it was hard at first, you know, because obviously everyone's got opinions, and that's kind of what was a bit of a struggle. I was on tour when it all came out, and I just remember I actually turned my phone off for like 4 days. I didn't even contact my dad, my mum, like nobody, because it was just, I remember just opening, it was just everywhere. Like people were messaging me like, what's happened? I think it was hard. It's Love Island public especially, you know, the fans are so invested in the relationship, and it's kind of like, no one really ever is going to know what really happened, you know, behind closed doors. You know, it wasn't a bad thing. Like, we're still friends now. Like, I'm never going to be slandering Andrew. He'll never slander me. Like, we're both on such good mutual grounds. I got respect for him. He got respect for me. And it's just, you know, people grow apart. And that's just what happened. You know, I just wasn't really happy anymore. But, you know, I kind of had to put myself first and think, okay, how am I going to be happy in 10 years' time kind of thing. That's what I really had to think. But yeah, it has been hard. You know, single life, I'm not really thinking about dating at the moment. That's like the last thing on my head. At the moment, it's just career and just finding myself again, you know, finding my spark, finding who Tasha is again kind of thing.
Yeah. And I feel like you say you've made that decision, you're not going to go into the nitty gritty of what happened behind closed doors, and that's your story to keep private. But the problem is when you've been in a public relationship, people aren't satisfied by that.
I know.
By saying we've drifted apart, we're going to go our separate ways. Like the general public, of course, like I'm the same when I'm reading about celebs that I like. I'm like, no, we need the tea. Like everyone wants an explanation. And when it's not dramatic and it's not, you know, there's not some, you know, reason, people are like, they're not satisfied, like digging. Like, what is the reason? There must be something they're not telling us.
Yeah, like things get blown out of proportion. Like, you know, like even the other time, I'm not even going to go that deep into it, but me and Pete and Jamie and his friend went out for dinner. And it's just like...
Yes, I did see this.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see this.
Like little things like that. I'm like...
Well, actually, ironically, Pete and I were on the radio show the next day, and he said that he'd met up with you and a group, and you all went out, and you all had, like, there was a group of you. And then 2 days later, I was just on my phone, and I was like, Pete and Love Island girl were on a date. And I was like, oh, juicy. So I clicked on it thinking, what's this little rat not telling me? And then I was like, I saw it said you, and I was like, okay. I was like, they weren't even on their own.
Yeah, no. I was like, at least Jamie enjoyed the date with us, apparently. Oh, my goodness. Like, even that, just like people are like saying, no way, as if you would do that. I'm like, no, we're just friends. Like, boys and girls can be friends.
And also, like you say, it's like, you know, you're free to do whatever you want to do, but it's like people feel like you owe them like, you know, an explanation or, you know, you got to do things like in your own time, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you ever consider going on All Stars?
Absolutely not. You know my answer, Liv. You know what I was going to say. You already knew.
People would obviously ask. They want to know. Not for you.
You knew I was going to say no.
No, not for you.
No. I think for me, I'm very grateful that Love Island gave me the opportunity that I have now, but I just don't think I'll be able to put myself through that, you know.
Again,
Yeah, I don't think so.
I feel like All Stars was quite a different show to the first one. So I feel like you have to really want to go back into the circus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because if you watch it, like I was watching the one just gone, it's like they all just really go for it. Like, you know, whether they're going back in to reboost their platform, they're going in to meet someone, it feels quite, you have to be really in it.
Yeah, and you can go two ways, I feel like. And I think at the moment, because I've worked so hard with what I've done so far, I'd be too scared of saying it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I get that.
Like, it can go two ways, I think. And I think, I think that's going to be a door closed.
But you've built a really lovely career and you've got things going on and you've got the book and, you know, you've just come off the Strictly tour. It's not like you have a gap that you need to fill.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure you're not going to have any problem finding people that want to date you. So I'm sure that's not going to be an issue you're going to have at all. So this year, sort of campaigning wise, anything in the works, advocating?
So recently I actually did the campaign with Department of Education. I went to a deaf kids school, which was really nice. And the video was really about why BSL is so important. And unfortunately, it's been pushed back for 2 years to be a GCSE course. It was meant to happen this year. But for
what
some
is
reason,
for GCSEs?
Yeah, to have BSL GCSE course.
So basically that's the GCSEs, especially for deaf children, like the way they
just in schools, like for anybody to have.
So you can like learn it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm with you. Oh, that's a shame.
I know. It would have been such a good opportunity for anyone to learn it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not even just deaf students or deaf people that use British Sign Language. Anyone that's autistic or anybody can use it.
I've always wanted to learn it because I just feel like it's such a good thing to have like in your locker because you never know when you're going to want to interact with someone that's got like, you know, a hearing challenge. Like, do you know what I mean? I think it's such a nice thing to be able to do. Is it relatively easy to pick up? I know you've obviously known it since you're a child, but when you know about people learning it, do they have an easy time learning it?
Yeah, it's easy. It's muscle memory. You just have to keep repeating like
the
repetition.
Same movements.
And it's like learning a language. Like, you know, speech like French or German or Spanish.
Yeah.
It's literally like that, but just with hands. And it is a beautiful language. It's a shame because I lost a lot of it when I was younger because no one else used it around me. So I kind of lost it. And then that's why I talk with my hands a lot still. Because it's
like, did your parents intentionally send you to school that wasn't with deaf children for that reason? Because they wanted you to like develop your speech?
Yeah, I think so. And I think they wanted me to build my confidence as well in a scenario like that. And I think they're thinking about my future of, okay, they knew I was always a very creative person. So they really wanted to put me in that position of to communicate with people, to be confident, to have confident chats and to be able to just be myself. So they kind of thought that'd be the best way to go down that route. Yeah.
What makes you feel confident? Like, what do you do when you kind of wake up and you've got to go out and face the world and you feel like you can't? Do you have anything? Because I feel like I think you're such a good example of confidence, but like quiet confidence. And I think that it's something that people ask me a lot. And when I was younger, I was really, really shy. Like you wouldn't believe it. I was painfully shy. And through my early teens and then in my 20s, I got in the habit of like pretending to be confident. And that sounds really weird, but if you kind of like, it's like muscle memory. If you kind of performatively do something, even when it doesn't feel entirely comfortable, all of a sudden you are confident.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you're sad but you make yourself smile and then before you know it you're laughing and then you're like, okay, I'm not too sad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I heard that. I feel like that's a really good way to do that. And I think for me, if I'm ever feeling like a day where I feel not as confident, I'll literally whack on like Saturday's Mega Mix. I'm not even joking. Like I will blast music and I feel like that gets I'm like, okay, she's back in the room. I feel like if you find something that works for you, even people do it in a mirror, like say affirmations, like that works. But I feel like find something that works for you that will help you to spin that little bit of confidence back in you.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, should we play a little game?
Okay, I'm ready.
You ready? The
I'm
box
scared.
of wrong. No, don't be scared. It's fun. So, that's what everyone says before something scary happens. Okay, so this is the box of wrong. So in here, my producers, they write little like scenarios and we decide it's wrong, right, or so wrong it's right. Okay. Here we go. Telling your friend you're on the way even though you haven't left yet.
So wrong it's right.
Yeah, I know.
I do that a lot.
Yeah,
I do that a lot. I'm not going to lie.
I do it, but then when my friends do it to me, it really pisses me off. Because I'm like, but although I do know the friends that are always late. I'm not a late friend though. Are you late?
It depends on what I'm doing. But I'm actually normally on time.
Yeah.
But I also have friends who have been late, but I know they're going to be late.
Oh God, I've got a friend that if I want her there at 7, I have to say it starts at 4. Like genuinely, like honestly. Okay, so wrong it's right.
Yeah, I think so.
Talking out loud to yourself when you live alone.
So wrong it's right.
Yeah.
Actually, I think right. I think it's right.
It's right. Well, do you talk to the dog?
Yeah, I always talk to Luna.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, my little cupcakes and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like, love you.
I always think if someone could hear my conversations with my dogs, I sound clinically
Yeah,
insane.
and I think
like,
people are like, you need help.
And I do a little bit of like self-narrating. If I drop something, I'll be like, oh, fucking hell, Liv. All right.
Yeah. No, I do that as well though.
Yeah.
So I think it's right.
So wrong it's right.
Yeah.
Or just right.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I think just right.
Staying logged in on your ex's Netflix account after breaking up.
I have my own account anyway.
I was going to say something that was like literally getting me probably arrested. I was still using his credit card. Only for like a week before he realised he changed and he fucking blocked me. That was my ex before Love Island. I mean, it's so wrong, it's right, I guess.
Yeah. You can forget, don't you? Sometimes.
I'm petty though. If it's my account, I'll be changing the passwords and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Changing your mind on an item in the shops and not putting it back where it came from.
I'm really bad for that.
Same.
I'm really bad for that.
Oh my God, Sam, I'm really sorry to anyone who works in retail. I'm really bad for that as well.
No, but sometimes it's just like, just a quick like, oh, put it on the shelf. Where does it belong?
Also, if you are in that Zara queue, I'm not leaving that Zara queue.
No.
I am not. The t-shirt's going to go on the perfume rack. Do you know what I mean? You've got the perfume to buy. Like, I'm not going back and getting like back in that godforsaken queue.
No.
Okay, I'm really sorry to anyone who works in retail, but it's wrong.
It's wrong. Yeah, it is wrong.
Watching a sad movie knowing you'll cry.
I do that every night. Like I'd watch.
Oh God, are you okay?
Yeah.
Someone's in the breakup era.
I actually don't know, Liv.
Well, because you like to have a cry. You want to get it out.
I love to have a cry. I'm quite a sensitive person though. Like I will watch a sad film again if I want to cry.
Okay, I actually have an update for my listeners because you all know that basically I'm a bit like Cameron Diaz from The Holiday. I find it really hard to cry.
Shed a tear.
So this is so weird. I don't know if I've told you this yet. I was in Dubai the other week for like 4 days, and on the way back, I felt like, because I felt like I could do with having, not because I was like so sad that I was leaving Dubai, but anyway, I kept reading about this theory that you are more likely to cry on an airplane. Something to do with the altitude. It really like makes people emotional. So on my night flight back from Dubai, I watched The Notebook, and tears came out. No, I've got to find my phone in a second. I was almost like so happy for myself. I was trying to take pictures of the fact that I was crying to show Brad. But they weren't showing up in the photos. I was like turning the brightness really high because I was like so buzzing for myself. I actually felt something for once.
The Notebook is actually
really got me.
Yeah, it is.
It's the end when the old couple are like in that room.
I'll start crying
no,
now.
And then she's like, she forgets and she starts screaming. Oh my God. I lost it.
No.
And I was like, it does work.
No, it's
so
sad.
anyone that has a hard time, get on an airplane and watch something sad because I felt really a lot easier to cry. Okay. So this is right.
Yeah.
Keeping, God, they had a theme here. Keeping I'll have this conversation with you. Keeping images of your ex on social media.
At the moment I have, yeah.
This is really weird. because someone pointed out to me the other day and I was like, do I? Someone was like, you've still got Chris on your Instagram. So I went all the way down because I just don't delete anything off Instagram. And then I realised, I was like, oh yeah, I do. But also I was like, there's a whole show about us dating that's out there forever. So I don't think it's that fucking deep. Like, people know we dated.
Yeah, like, it's no surprise. I feel like also it's, for me, it's like it's part of my life, part of my chapter.
I'm a bit the same as that.
Yeah, like, what's the point of raising a whole chapter just because you broke up with someone? I feel like, I don't know.
I did, this is not social media, but I did like a garage clear out a couple of weeks ago, and I found this box. It must have come from when my mum and dad moved house, and in it are photos of me and an ex on holiday.
Yeah.
And then my friend Ryan was like to me, what are you going to do? Why have you kept all these? Like, do you want to chuck them? And I was like, kind of don't, because like it was a part of my life. Like maybe when I'm like 50, I'll want to like look, but like not that like I don't fucking miss him or anything, but it's like I still lived it. I still kind of feel like when I'm older, I might want to be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't regret like any of it. So it's like
I don't think I'm not that deep on the social media thing.
No.
But I mean, if Brad had his ex, I'm just
it was the other way around, however.
I'm like, what, do you love her still? Honestly, it's been such a pleasure. You were one of my favourites always on Love Island since you've been on. And you're such a genuinely nice person who has done so well, and you really, really deserve it.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you. I'm happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
Guys, Tasha.